merry little Christmas. Make the Yuletide gay. From now on our troubles will be miles away.
Happy golden days of yore, faithful friends who are dear to us, gather near to us once more.
Through the years we all will be together, if the fates allow. Hang a shining star upon the highest bough, and have yourself a merry little Christmas now.
Welcome, everyone, to Rotary Christmas 2017. I'm Laurel McLeod, your Mistress of Ceremonies, now happily retired from Colorado College and a career in student life administration. Now I ask you to please acknowledge our one Rotarian orchestra, Kevin Stevenson. Kevin's day job gig is Vice President of the Mortgage Division of Integrity Bank and Trust. Before the festivities begin, please welcome our distinguished member and former President, Jane Hammoud, who will offer us words of inspiration.
This was a surprise today, you didn't know that. Let us bow our heads in thanks for the opportunity we have today to gather together in holiday friendship, for our good fortune of having Rotary in our lives, for the opportunity we have to share the holiday spirit all year long by giving to Rotary, which seems to almost magically multiply our gifts. Let us be thankful for the bounty of food we are heartily scarfing down. And let us be very appreciative of the efforts of our fellow Rotarians who have worked to bring us a wonderful holiday program. May we each feel the love and spread the cheer and goodwill of Rotary all year long.
Rodney Gillette is the owner and operator of Firma Solutions and Services, an IT company specializing in cybersecurity. He's also our club's official song leader. Back in the day, this unparalleled singer would have been a candidate for the TV show Little Big Shots. As a small child, Rodney already showed a rare ability to quickly learn and play by ear any song on the piano. This led him to be the minister of youth music at age 7 at the Turner Chapel AME Church in Marietta, Georgia. This during a period remembered as the Gospel Music Renaissance. Rodney went on to be director of the Emory University Girls Choir during 2 years at Emory in Atlanta, Georgia. He then joined the Air Force, got married, raised a family, started a family. They're still being raised. Before earning his degree at Troy University in Troy, Alabama. Rodney is proficient on piano, alto sax, drums, and of course his main instrument, his spellbinding voice. Would you welcome Rodney Gillette performing Mel Torme's
Chestnuts roasting on an open fire. Jack Frost nipping at your nose. Yuletide carols being sung by the choir, and folks dressed up like Eskimos. Everybody knows a turkey and some mistletoe is here to make the season bright. Tiny tots with their eyes all aglow will find it hard to sleep tonight. They know that Santa's on his way. He's loading lots of toys and goodies on his sleigh. And every mother's child is gonna smile to see if reindeers really know how to fly. And so I'm offering this simple phrase to kids from 1 to 92. Although it's been said many times, many ways, Merry Christmas. Have yourself a Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas to you.
Next, please welcome Marv Thomason. Mark has played leading roles in dozens of Broadway-style musicals at the Fine Arts Center, the Pikes Peak Center, and the Old Town Dinner Theater, in such roles as Sky Masterson in Guys and Dolls, Sir Lancelot in Camelot, and Daddy Warbucks in Annie. Here's Marv, who will present a story about wassailing in Des Moines, Iowa, a long time ago.
I'm having trouble remembering my mic. Let's warm up the song sheets and turn to Here We Come A-Wassailing. It may be on the back of some of yours. Here we come a-wassailing among the leaves so green. Here we come a-wandering so fair to be seen. Love and joy come to you, and to you your wassail too. And God bless you and send you a happy new year. And God send you a happy new year. Is anyone wondering what wassail means? I have it that it's Old English term for a holiday grog. And in more recent days, wassailing has come to mean a group going door to door singing Christmas carols. Carolers who hope that they will be treated with a wassail, with maybe an alcoholic or an adult beverage. This takes me back to a true story that happened a long time ago. I won't tell you how long ago, class of '65, but myself and 8 other members of the Sigma Alpha Epsilon fraternity, SAE fraternity at Drake. Anybody here SAEs? They're Pi Alpha, like Little Sisters of Minerva? Oh well. You missed out. In any event, I sold all these friends on going wassailing, going Christmas caroling, with the idea that it would be a cheap drunk. We picked a very posh neighborhood in Des Moines. If any of you that know Des Moines, you know south of Grand. And we went to 3 houses in a row, and we sang pretty good. We had 3 guitars. We practiced a whole 20 minutes. We sang pretty good, and we got cookies and Coke. It wasn't working. And some of my friends were just going to say, let's leave it, let's forget it. And that's when I decided to write a new verse to wish you a Merry Christmas. And when I'm done, I'm going to ask you to help me with the chorus. At the next house, we sang a couple of nice songs, and then we sang, oh, bring us a round of cheer, some wine, gin, or Christmas beer. You see it's very cold out here, and we're all over 21. Now everybody. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. And for those of you who had a second time mimosas, you know what I'm talking about. Thank you.
Been a member of our club for over 45 years, having been introduced by Tuck Aiken, and he suspects that Tuck is even older than himself. Marv's day job is commercial real estate as a broker, doing business with the Great Colorado and Pacific Real Estate Exchange. Thank you. Karen Adams. Oh, it's close quarters. Karen is our friendly criminal defense attorney and managing partner at Gasper Law Group. She also has piano and string bass training in her background. She sang in the university choir in Grenoble, France, and more recently has become a mainstay in our choir at the First Methodist Church. We appreciate her as a very accomplished vocal musician. Now, you've all heard the story about the gifts, mostly birds, on the 12 days of Christmas. Please welcome Karen with what followed, the 12 days after Christmas.
The first day after Christmas, my true love and I had a fight. And so I chopped that pear tree down and burned it just for spite. Then with a single cartridge, I shot that blasted partridge. My true love, my true love, my true love gave to me. The second day after Christmas, I pulled on the old rubber gloves and very gently wrung the neck of both the turtle doves. My true love, my true love, my true love gave to me. The third day after Christmas, my mother caught the croup. I had to use those 3 French hens to make some chicken soup. The 4 calling birds were a big mistake, for their language was obscene. The 5 golden rings were completely fake, and they turned my fingers green. The 6th day after Christmas, the 6 laying geese wouldn't lay. I gave the whole darn gaggle to the ASPCA. On the side neighbors piping, 10 ladies dancing, 11 lords a leaping, 12 drummers drumming. Oh, actually, I kept one of the drummers. Sent them back correct. I wrote my true love, way through love, and I said in so many words, furthermore your Christmas gifts were for
Converse, 3 French and 2 turtle doves, and a partridge in a pear tree.
Now again, here's Rodney, who will introduce a sing-along. First, he'll do a solo.
The sun is shining and the grass is green. The orange and palm trees sway. There's never been such a day in Beverly Hills, LA. But it's December the 24th, and I'm longing to be up north. I'm dreaming of white Christmas, just like the ones I used to know, where the treetops glisten and children listen to hear sleigh bells in the snow. I'm dreaming of a white Christmas, with every Christmas card I write. May your days be merry and bright, and may all your Christmases be white.
Give yourselves a hand.
In this time of merriment, gift-giving, and extended family gatherings, there is an aura of pathos to Christmas when we think of those who have lost loved ones, or suffered injury, or simply find themselves far away from home, as do our servicemen and women serving in Afghanistan, Iraq, the Sudan. For these, one might say, it'll be a hard candy Christmas.
Hey, maybe I'll dye my hair. Maybe I'll move somewhere. Maybe I'll buy a car. Maybe I'll go so far that we'll lose track. Me, I'll bounce right back.
Maybe I'll sleep real late. Maybe I'll lose some weight. Maybe I'll clear the junk. Maybe I'll just get drunk on apple wine. Me, I'll be just fine and dandy. Lord, it's like a hard candy Christmas. I'm
pain. Maybe I'll learn to sew. Maybe I'll just lie low. Maybe I'll hit the bars. Maybe I'll count the stars until the dawn. Me, I will go on.
Maybe I'll settle down. Maybe I'll just leave town. Maybe I'll have some fun. Maybe I'll meet someone and make her mine. I'll be just fine and dandy. Lord, it's like hard candy Christmas. I'm really getting through tomorrow. Still I won't let sorrow get me way down.
I'll be
Fine and dandy, Lord, it's like a hard candy Christmas. I'm barely getting through tomorrow. Still I won't let sorrow bring me way down.
be
Fine and dandy, Lord, it's like a hard candy Christmas. I'm barely getting through tomorrow. Still I won't let sorrow bring me way down. I'll be
And now for our show's next number. Rotary Christmas Eve. There's that jolly old elf. Santa Claus.
Wow, what a great party, isn't it? Yeah. Hey, here we go. I would like to have the following people who I want to recognize this Christmas come on up here for a minute. Number one, Ron Rubin, right over there. Alan Gregory, where are you, buddy? He's coming up here. Karen Adams, she's here. Cass Daly, where's Cass? Not here? No. Okay. And Annie and Vance. Tina Fleming. Claudine. All right, Claudine. And Donna D'Olio. Where are you, girl? Right here now. We're going to celebrate these guys in various ways because they've done a great job. Now, I saw you had a wonderful hat here. I'd like you to put this one on for just a minute. There's the back. Now for the front of it, just go like this.
And it never turns on.
Alan is our selection for president next year, and he's going to be the king. Now,
All right, it's my first time up here, Kurt. I want a good one.
Santa Claus forgot his hearing aids, and so I wanted to give Karen a little representation of the song she sang here, which is a cartridge in a bare tree. Cartridge in a bare tree. Cartridge in a bare tree.
We got it, Kurt.
Sort of like a Charlie Brown tree.
Yes.
Ish.
Hang on a minute. I did forget a couple little things here. Stay back. Hey! These go to the 2 leaders. He didn't get one last year, and he's going to need one next year. There you go. Now, for any advance here, he made so much money. I got him his own money-making machine. And a little remembrance here: if you pull a butterfly out of here, it's a butterfly. Just pull it out of there. Let it go. And unwound a little bit on there. It will go though. Just presents from Santa Claus. Just little presents from Santa Claus. Let's see here. Claudine?
He can hardly wait.
She's our sheriff. The new sheriff in town. Rita, she works so hard on that table stuff. She is a working girl. I tell you.
For the work she did as well.
You know me so well.
Now, Donna DeOlio has done some great things for folks in Nicaragua, as well as, let's see, Africa, and because Nicaragua and Africa are very sunny places, he needs to put these on. Rotary is really spreading its word to many countries and doing so much here. You guys really got to be proud of all the folks here. Let's give them a big hand. Santa Claus says, have a Merry Christmas. And, oh, wait a minute, I got another couple things here. I want these other folks to please stand up and accept our applause at the end. Laura Nanti for her program help. George Reed, Rodney, Kevin for his piano playing, Jeff, Tom Nelson, Mark Thomason, and Tom Nutt. You guys stand up. See you later.
Let's give it up for Kurt Orman. He takes his humor seriously. Now, after all that fun and frolic, we're sure you want to get back to the show. The music. The holiday season is shared with Hanukkah. the 8-day Jewish Festival of Lights. This year, from December 12th to December 20th. It is my pleasure to introduce our mystery guest artist, none other than our president, Ron Rubin. He's a retired fundraiser for Colorado College and Memorial Hospital, and he will now sing his rendition of O Hanukkah in both English and Yiddish.
So many songs for Hanukkah are written in Hebrew and English and Yiddish. And Yiddish, by the way, is not a dead language. It thrives, and there are hundreds of thousands of people, maybe even 1 million people who speak Yiddish. And so as you can see, tonight is the 4th night of Hanukkah. You can say Hanukkah if you can. And so this is one of the songs that we sing in our household. Do you want to sing it with me, Karen? Hanukkah, oh Hanukkah, a young day. Let's try it in English first. Hanukkah, a festival of joy, a holiday, a jolly day for every girl and boy. Spin the whirling dreidel all week long. Tell the age-old story, sing the happy song. And while we are singing, the candles are burning low. One for each night they shed a sweet light to remind us of days long ago. One for each night they shed a sweet light to remind us of days long ago. Now I'm sure everyone knows it in Yiddish, so please join us. O Hanukkah, a Yontef, a Shaner, a Lustiger, a Freiliger, Nikta nach a Zoiner, alle Nacht in Dreidel, Schmillen mir. Zudig hees a Latkes, Essen ohne Schier. Geschwinder sind Kinder, die dinkele Licht an. Zoigt al Hanissam, ne Goit var de Nissam, en kom, geher tanzen in Kon. Al Hanissam, with God for the Nissam, en Kon, please you dancing in Kon. Happy Hanukkah.
Thank you. It appears that we may run a bit over in time, so if anyone has to leave at 1:30 for an appointment, please feel free to do so. Our next immortal song had a tragic origin at first. Henry Wadsworth Longfellow, in 1863, reacted with horror to his son's near-mortal gunshot wound in the Civil War battle of the Mine Run campaign, a wound which left his son paralyzed. So despondent was Longfellow that he first blamed a God absent from his life, absent from the life of his son, and indeed absent from the world, a world ruled by hate. But Longfellow made a turnaround in his feelings upon hearing the bells of Christmas, heralding Christ's message of love and peace on earth. In the bells, the poet found his own peace. Now we present I Hear the Bells on Christmas Day by Henry Wadsworth Longfellow.
I heard the bells on Christmas Day, their old familiar carols play, and wild and sweet the words repeat of peace on earth, goodwill to man.
I thought as now this day had come, the belfries of all Christendom had rung so long the unbroken song of peace on earth, goodwill to men. And in this
There is no peace on earth, I said, for hate is strong and mocks the song of peace on earth, goodwill to men. And hear the bells so loud and deep, God is not dead, nor doth he sleep. The wrong shall fail, the right prevail, with peace on earth, goodwill to men.
Once again, here's Marv with a song popularized by James Taylor.
Some children see him lily white, the baby Jesus born this night. Some children see him lily white, with tresses soft and fair. Some children see him bronze and brown, the Lord of heaven to earth come down. Some children see him bronzed and brown, with dark and heavy hair. Some children see him almond-eyed, the Savior whom we kneel beside. Some children see him almond-eyed, with skin of golden hue. Some children see him dark as they, sweet Mary's Son, to him whom we pray. Some children see him dark as they, and oh, they love him too. The children of each different place will see the baby Jesus' face like theirs, but bright with heavenly grace and filled with holy light. Oh, lay aside each earthly thing, and with thy heart as offering, come worship now the infant King. 'Tis love that's born tonight. 'Tis love that's born tonight.
On Christmas Eve, 1914, on the World War I Western Front, British and German combatants were bunkered across from one another in foxholes. It was a bitter cold night, with perpetual sleet and rain falling, both sides slogged in mud. Although a Christmas truce had been called, a wholly unexpected turn of events occurred. One outside, totally outside the context of war. The British sentries saw, through their binoculars, German troops lighting candles and holding miniature Christmas trees over their heads. Clearly, they were celebrating Christmas. But it didn't end there. Not just the sentries, but all the British troops could hear the German soldiers as if a massive choir singing Stille Nacht, Heilige Nacht, to a melody the British knew well, Silent Night, Holy Night. Spontaneously, after the Germans finished their last verse, the British soldiers answered by singing the English version. And this led to an unimaginable happening. Both sides, it was reported, laid down their weapons, began crossing into no man's land between the two armies, and personally wished Christmas cheer to each other. Tearful embraces, gift-giving, more carol singing in their two languages, and spirited toasts ensued. Men on both sides imagined how incongruous this was for warriors the day before and the day after were pledged to kill one another. Let us sing together. Since its writing in 1818, history is replete with similar stories pointing to the power of a simple melody and the words of Silent Night. In all languages, touching Russian troops in World War II, Koreans and Americans during the Korean conflict, and even loyalist Chinese nationals imprisoned during the Chinese Cultural Revolution. Bing Crosby's recording of Silent Night is said to be the third best-selling single of all time. How special is the fact that, like Longfellow's writing of I Heard the Bells on Christmas Day, so many inventions, poems, songs have developed out of a mishap or natural disaster, or times when things just won't go right. It's not unlike Marv's silly lyrics to We Wish You a Merry Christmas, when his group's wassailing for booze was netting only cookies. For example, Silent Night itself. Its composition in 1818 resulted from a disaster befalling the church of St. Nicholas in Oberndorf Bay, near Salzburg, Austria. The grand organ went on the fritz. The Germans would know what that means. The very afternoon of the parish's annual highlight, the Christmas Eve Mass. To save the day, or the Mass rather, Father Joseph Moore decided it would be fitting to bring a new musical work to the service, one performed by soloists, choir, and guitar, rather than the non-working organ. So Moore sat down and, by his accounts, seamlessly wrote the now famous words, as if dictated from on high. The ink was still not dry on the lyrics to Silent Night when the text was carefully taken to a friend of Moore, Franz Gruber, who just as seamlessly, it's recalled, composed the music. At the Mass that night, Silent Night was a smash hit. Please sing with us now the second verse of Silent Night.
Silent night, holy night, shepherds wake at the sight, glory stream from heaven afar, heavenly hosts sing Christ the Savior is born. Christ the Savior is born.
The organ repairman shared the composition in its original rough notes among troops of Tyrolean folk singers who performed the work all over Europe. This led to its publication as an anonymous work identified as Timberline, or Tyrolean Song. Sometime after the composer's death, but not until Joseph Moore was aged 67, did Moore learn he and Gruber had a hit on their hands, and they in turn were given credit for its writing. As our finale, let us hum the melody of Silent Night.